Ethan Williams had never imagined that a single mistake could spiral into something that would change his life forever. It started innocently enough, or so he thought. One spring afternoon in the small town of Clearwater, Ethan and a couple of friends had been caught sneaking candy and cheap trinkets from a corner store. His friends got away. He didn't. When the store owner called his mother instead of the police, Ethan thought he was lucky. But when his mom, Rebecca, showed up, she wore that dangerous half-smile Ethan knew too well. The kind of smile that meant she wasn't angry, she was plotting. That evening, she sat him down at the kitchen table, her fingers tapping slowly against her coffee mug. "You want to act childish, Ethan?" she asked softly, almost too sweetly. "Then maybe it's time you learned what real consequences feel like." He expected grounding, chores, maybe even a long lecture. Instead, she opened a shopping bag and placed a pale lavender dress on the table. Lace trim, satin bow at the waist, frilly sleeves. "You're going to learn responsibility," she continued. "From now on, when you're home, you'll live as Evelyn." Ethan's jaw dropped. "Mom, what?" "No, you can't be serious." But she was. The first few days were humiliating. Rebecca insisted on full outfits, dresses, wigs, even lip gloss, whenever Ethan was home. She claimed it would teach him respect and discipline. But it felt like more than punishment. It felt like she was enjoying it. She called him Evelyn so naturally that Ethan started to fear she meant to erase him entirely. And then came the night that changed everything. Rebecca had planned a dinner gathering with her coworkers, a group of chatty women who loved nothing more than gossip. Ethan hoped he'd be spared, but an hour before the guests arrived, his mom marched into his room holding a shimmering rose-pink gown. "You'll wear this tonight," she said firmly. "Mom, please no," Ethan begged. "Either you put it on," she replied, "or I show those texts you sent your friends, the ones bragging about stealing." "I have screenshots, Ethan. Do you want me to read them aloud at the table?" That was the first time Ethan realized how trapped he really was. By the time the doorbell rang, Evelyn was standing in the living room, hair pinned back, lips shining with gloss, and a skirt that swished with every nervous step. The laughter that night stung like 1,000 needles. Every comment, every joke about how adorable he looked, chipped away at what little pride he had left. But the worst part wasn't the laughter. It was the way his mom looked at him, not with anger, but with satisfaction. Like she had discovered something about her son that she planned to keep exploiting. And deep down, Ethan feared she might be right because, despite the shame, there were moments when he caught himself in the mirror and didn't recognize the stranger staring back. Worse, sometimes he didn't hate what he saw. That scared him more than anything. The days after that humiliating dinner felt heavier than ever. Ethan tried to bury himself in schoolwork and basketball practice, but the moment he stepped through the front door, he stopped being Ethan. He became Evelyn. Rebecca grew bolder with her demands. Some nights, she would make him sit at the vanity she set up in his room, practicing how to walk gracefully in heels or how to apply eyeliner without smudging. She treated it less like punishment now and more like training. One Friday evening, just as Ethan was finishing practice, he got the news he had been waiting for. His dad, a man he rarely saw since the divorce, had called. "Pack a bag, son," his dad had said on the phone. "We're going fishing this weekend. Just the two of us." Like old times. Ethan's heart leapt. Finally, a break. A weekend of being himself. A weekend of freedom. But when he got home and told his mom, her eyes narrowed. "How wonderful," Rebecca said smoothly. "But don't forget, Evelyn doesn't take breaks. If your father's coming, he's going to meet her." "No way," Ethan shot back. His stomach clenched. She leaned closer, lowering her voice like a threat wrapped in silk. "Do you want me to show him the videos, Ethan? The ones of you curtsying, twirling, and saying you're my daughter Evelyn? He'll never look at you the same again." "You think he'll be proud of his son then?" Ethan froze. He hadn't known she'd been recording him. That night, while staring at the ceiling in his bed, dread churned in his chest. His dad would be there in less than 12 hours. And his mom was going to make sure Evelyn greeted him at the door. The morning arrived too quickly. On his bed lay the outfit she had chosen, a mint green dress with puffed sleeves and matching shoes, along with the dreaded wig. His hands shook as he buttoned the bodice. Every click of the button sounded like a lock turning on a prison door. Just before his dad arrived, Rebecca made him stand in front of the mirror. She pinned a small silver locket around his neck. "You'll thank me one day," she whispered. "Evelyn is so much prettier than Ethan ever was." The doorbell rang. Ethan's heart pounded like a drum as his dad's voice carried into the house. "Where's my boy?" Rebecca gave him a gentle push. "Go on, Evelyn. Don't keep him waiting." He stepped into the living room, the skirt of the dress brushing against his legs, the wig slightly crooked despite his efforts. His father's smile faltered instantly. What is this?" Before Ethan could answer, his mom's voice cut in. "This wasn't my idea." "Ethan, no, Evelyn asked me to support this." "Isn't that right, dear?" Ethan opened his mouth, but the words stuck in his throat. His father's face grew darker by the second, confusion twisting into disgust. Rebecca leaned close enough to whisper in Ethan's ear, her voice like poison. "Tell him, or I'll press play on that video in front of him." Ethan's lips trembled. He wanted to scream the truth, but all he could say was a single word that burned his tongue. "Yes." His father's expression hardened. He dropped his fishing gear bag to the floor. "I don't even know who you are anymore," he muttered. And then, without another word, he turned and walked out. The sound of the door slamming echoed like thunder in Ethan's chest. Rebecca smiled. "Well done, Evelyn. Now, we can finally have the weekend we always dreamed of, mother and daughter." The silence after his father stormed out was unbearable. Ethan, still trapped in the mint green dress, stood frozen, his pulse hammering in his ears. Rebecca, however, seemed delighted. She hummed softly as she collected the fishing gear his dad had left behind, like nothing unusual had just happened. "See," she said, placing the bag by the door. "Now he knows the truth. No more hiding." "The truth?" Ethan whispered, his voice shaking. "That wasn't the truth, Mom. You lied." Her smile widened. "Details. Perception is more powerful than truth, Evelyn. One day you'll understand." Before Ethan could answer, a mocking voice cut through the air. Well, isn't this interesting?" Standing in the hallway was Caleb, Ethan's younger brother. At only 12, Caleb had a mischievous streak, but now his eyes glimmered with something sharper, power. He held up a phone, the recording app still open. "I got the whole thing," Caleb said smugly. "Dad walking out, you in that dress, Mom calling you Evelyn, all of it. Want me to send it to the basketball team group chat?" Ethan's stomach dropped. "Caleb, don't." "Oh, relax," Caleb grinned, waving the phone like bait. "I won't, if you do something for me." Rebecca raised a brow, almost amused. "What are you scheming now, Caleb?" Her younger son smirked. "If Evelyn has to play dress up, then I want something too." "You always baby him." "I want my own rewards. A new gaming console. And maybe a lock on my door so Evelyn can't touch my stuff." Ethan clenched his fists, but Rebecca's laughter cut through. "Fine. You'll get your console. But don't forget, Caleb, Evelyn isn't playing dress up. This is who she is now." Caleb snorted. "Sure, Mom. Whatever you say. As long as I get what I want." He pocketed his phone, his smirk never fading. Before leaving, he leaned close to Ethan and whispered, "Don't cross me, sis. One text, and your whole school will know." Ethan's knees felt weak. First his mom, now his brother, both had him cornered. Every path out seemed blocked. That night, as he sat in front of the vanity again, applying lipstick under his mom's watchful gaze, Ethan caught his reflection in the mirror. For a split second, he thought he saw someone else entirely, not Ethan. Not Evelyn, but something in between. Someone he couldn't name yet. The thought terrified him and thrilled him. The weekend passed in a haze of forced smiles and aching humiliation. Rebecca paraded Ethan through the house like a doll, making him pose in different outfits while she snapped photos. Each click of the camera felt like another nail in the coffin of his old life. But the real danger wasn't his mom, it was Caleb. By Monday morning, his younger brother was practically glowing with smug energy. At breakfast, he casually pulled out his phone, flashing the corner of the video he had recorded. "You look so pretty in that green dress, Evelyn," he said loudly, making sure their mom heard. "Want me to show the guys at school?" Ethan's spoon froze halfway to his mouth. Rebecca gave Caleb a sharp look. "That's enough." But Caleb only grinned. "Don't worry, Mom. I won't send it, as long as Evelyn does me a few favors." Favors. That word echoed in Ethan's head all day.